Hello friends, welcome back to my garden. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. I have the dogs out here with me because they're always out when I'm out usually, so you'll probably hear them in the background. Alright, so here's the problem that we have been facing. Do you see the worms in there? They are absolutely invading the bed. There's some type of a millipede type worm. I know that they are here pretty prevalent in Florida. I think they're called a rust worm or something. They are all in this bed. As soon as I start pulling out the roots and stuff here, watch what's gonna happen. You can see them. Yeah, look. Here's one. Here's one. I took a whole, oh my God. This bed is just infested, look. This is why stuff is starting to die and not growing, because I have this infestation. That's what I'm saying. In Florida, this is the kind of stuff that you will end up dealing with, is just constant. It's just constant. Some type of damage, some type of bug, some type of something. So yeah, look, here's more. Yeah, look, they're just crawling around up here on the surface. I don't even, because it rained. I don't even have to really think about it much. Oh, look. We have some type of snails. Oh, yeah. Snails. Snails. It's just, it's insane. So I'm saying, you want to come here to Florida, you want to try to grow, you are constantly battling. Look, they're just, I'm not even having to work for these. They're just right here on the surface. Just, I started to clean these beds out, and yeah. Oh yeah, more. I have an entire bottom bucket full of these things. Yeah, look. Just scratching through, digging them out. And they're just eating my roots. I was trying to grow some potatoes in here, and I was like noticing that stuff is not growing. And I said, here we go, because my other bed has a lot of issues. Oh yeah, look. Look, y'all can see them. They're just right here on the surface, just moving around. Look at them. This is an absolute infestation. They're all down here. Oh my God. Look at them. This is insane. Look, they're everywhere in here. I mean, there's just millions of them. Millions. I know that these types of worm things, some type of millipede, centipede, I don't know what the specific name is. They feed off of decay, and I have a lot of like broken down material. See, they're even climbing up on the plants and trying to eat the plants. Yeah, so I have a lot of broken down material in these beds, and they just are eating that, but unfortunately they're getting the roots too. Of the plants that I'm actually trying to grow. So anybody has any suggestions how I can treat this bed at this point, I am, oh my God, y'all, this is insanity. This is happening to 3 of my beds that I literally just scraped the ground, and here they are. Look, I can't even. And you gotta keep knocking them down. I'm half tempted to maybe call, I don't know, call somebody and see what we can do about this. Or maybe, I know we have like that growers exchange thing or something. Like, yeah, look, you just scrape the top of the beds and here they are. They're all infested in here. They're in like at least 3 of my beds. That's what I'm saying. So we definitely, we've got a problem. Look at them. They're just an entire bucket is starting to get filled up here. They probably got babies all around here because it's the springtime. Well, it's summer. It's not spring. We're out of spring. And there's no way, even if I sat here and I kept picking these out, this is just an absolute nightmare for me. Because I spend all this time and money. This is what happened when we got that, oh gosh, there. We got that mulch or that compost from a local company that we thought was reputable, and unfortunately this is the headache that came with it. And they have laid all in this bed, and they have now gotten babies and adults, and they're eating the decay. I mean, it's one thing to have a few that are eating the decay, but what's happening is that there's so many that they are eating all the positive and good roots that I have planted. So I am not getting anything to take off in these beds. So all my seeds are basically wasted. The potatoes are not working. I'm honestly hesitant to be throwing this kale in the middle of the walkway. Just, yeah, like I said, there's no wonder. Look, they're just crawling on top of the bed. They don't even care. They're just like, yeah, hey, what's up? We're crawling all over. We're invading your space here. That's why I said this isn't even like, oh, I got a couple. Let's just try to treat this area. No, I have 3 beds that have these types of bugs in them. I'm just scratching the surface here, and here they are. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I could sit here all day and do this. Oh my God. I had a bunch of cucumbers. Look at them. Every handful, I'm just literally pulling them up. I had cucumbers, I had potatoes, I had, you name it. I was trying to grow it. This is very frustrating. I mean, like, very frustrating. So if y'all have any suggestions or any ways to treat this, because like I said, I put mustards in that bed hoping that we would, I'm gonna go feed these. Hopefully the fish will eat them. Hopefully I'm not doing aquatic damage by putting them out here. I don't even know if chickens would eat these, because honestly, I would ask someone, hey, can I borrow your chickens for the day? I'm just being real and being like, because I have some beds that need to be scratched up and eaten. very, very, very sad. I worked really hard on these beds and I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I do have some of that garlic spray. I thought maybe about putting that spray in the bed, but I think I'd really have to douse this bed just to get rid of these bugs, these worms. I don't know. Yeah, like everything in the bed is just dying. And that's the way it is with my other bed. I can't get anything to come up because every time I surface scratch, I'm literally just, I'm just pulling up these nasty worms. So that's where we are right now. So I say people are like, oh, Florida is so great. It's wonderful. Move to Florida. Listen, I'm a native Floridian. And Florida can be a nightmare sometimes. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. This year so far, and part of last year, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm telling you, has been some of the roughest years for growing. I don't know if it's in the, solar eclipses. I don't know if it's the universe. I don't know. So listen, I'm open for suggestions. If anybody has any, please, I could use some help to try to figure out how to get rid of these. The mustards didn't work. I did spray the bed with some neem oil, which I'm not really a big fan of neem. And these two beds are just not working. I had scratched the bed, the one bed over there in the corner. I had scratched it halfway down, and we kind of reamped the bed. We went and got a bunch of organic Miracle-Gro, and I put in some lime and tried to get it right. And I went over there this past week and it's the same thing. I am just pulling out bed or bucket of these stupid worms, and I gotta go keep like taking them down to the lake to hope that the fish will eat them, because they try to climb up the side and then go back into the bed. So I mean, you would think in like basically feel like 100-degree temperatures that these stupid things would stop, but as you can see, and not like produce, but apparently this is their time for producing, because as you can see, this bed is just fairly sad. Like there's nothing really growing very much. The stuff I put in here just wants to go move itself to Jesus, and I don't blame it, not only from the heat but just also overall from the bugs. And I know people are like, oh well, they eat like stuff that's decomposing, but I'm keeping it real, y'all. They're eating my actual plants, because that's kind of how I busted them. Was I saw a bunch of them on my plants and I was like, what is that? And when I started like digging, and I was digging for potatoes to see if I even had any potatoes yet, I realized I didn't have any potatoes. I just have a bunch of sad looking little strings, and but I have plenty of these. So I don't know if it's something a chicken can fix, because while I'm not supposed to have chickens here, I may be needing to get me some chickens. Because even if I call my chicken lady and say, hey, could you bring a chicken or two over and let them roam free on the grounds here for a weekend and come back and pick them up, like let them scratch my beds up. Because at this point, I'm not getting any vegetables, I'm not getting anything to grow, and that's not what we're trying to do here. This is growing zone 9B, and we're supposed to be growing. Gosh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take these and get them out of the walkway for sure, because if there's any babies or things that I missed, I don't want them crawling down into my main soil and actually disrupting that ecosystem, because at this point, like I said, this is a nuisance. This is definitely a disruption, and so we're in some trouble, y'all, as far as that's concerned. All right, so I don't want to keep this video too long, because I'm just really upset and frustrated that we've got some issues in the bed. Not some issues, this is an issue, and we got to find out and figure out a way to get rid of these. And so I'm going to be doing some research. When I post this, maybe you guys have had this issue, and maybe there's something that you can recommend. Like I said, I really don't want to use anything that would be super poisonous. because I want to be eating this food in the future. But if that's the steps that we got to take, then I guess I'll move forward with that, because at this point I've got these expensive beds and I'm not able to grow really anything in them. And so that was really a waste of time and life and excitement and you know, nutrients that we need to be putting in our bodies, growing fresh and stuff. I still have the beds over there. They still are doing good in this section. Those beds have always been Miracle Grow or something like that. Now these big beds, I've got 3 beds that are 2 jumbo size U-shaped beds from Vigo, and then I've got a 10-in-1 or a 9-in-1. It's the bigger one. I think it's the 10-in-1, and that one has got them too. So that's what I'm saying. I've got 3 beds that are just ate up right now. So all right, any suggestions, anything would be greatly appreciated on how to treat this. And all right, y'all, so I've been out there messing with all these millipedes and whatnot and getting frustrated with them. It's definitely, they have invaded these beds. So while they may not be bad, because I just looked them up under the University of Florida's website, and it basically says they're a rusty red millipede. They're one of the 3 common millipede species in the state of Florida. Surprise, surprise, I would get them. And yeah, they say that they are an invasive species from Southeast Asia. And so they are found in South and Central Florida. So I am not shocked by it. Here it is. Here's what it looks like on the internet. That's exactly what we were looking at. So you can go to the University of Florida, one of their blogs, and they talk all about it. So basically what I've read, yeah, see here, University of Florida, there they are. They do curl up into a little ball every time I try to pick them up. Man, my nose is itching. Allergies. Because that's part of it. See, people think, oh, we love Florida, we love Florida. Yeah, that's nice. Yes, Florida's nice, okay? But the humidity and the heat is just insane here, y'all. Like, I'd rather be a little more centrally located in the United States to where maybe it wouldn't be this stagnant, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. But it says that they receive many calls from homeowners regarding the worm-like creature. Basically that they migrate into people's garages, lanais, etc. They climb the walls, they go to higher grounds, but they love basically decomposing material, which that's exactly what we got because I bought compost from a local location. And it says they cannot tolerate a dry environment. Well, the thing is I can't dry those beds out, because if I do, it'll make them anaerobic, and you don't want an anaerobic bed. So, and there is plenty of organic material in that bed, because obviously I bought that for the compost, like all this big heavy composting, because that composting brings in nutrients. I will tell you what I think the problem is for me. So it says that they're like really harmless or whatever, and that they put off a mild toxin if they're touched. It just protects them or whatever. I don't even know. Listen. I also have these out there. You can find this on the University of Florida's website. It says these are annoying millipedes, but they're beneficial as well. So it's just, I guess, a regular type of millipede. I don't really see where it says an actual name. Yeah, it just says millipedes are commonly confused for centipedes. But like I said, so I don't know. It's a Florida millipede, Florida ivory millipede, North America millipede. So I've got plenty of those out there too. So they're living off the decomposition of the bed at this point. So I think what the problem is because I'm pulling up these root crops, so to speak, like the potatoes and whatnot, and the cucumbers. And the thing is their roots are like this long, because I think that decomposed material is just so tightly attached to the decomposition that they are eating the good roots too. Because I don't know how, I mean, honestly, I'm just being real. I'm not like a worm apologist here, where I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this because I just researched it. But what I think is that we've got some issues because they're not allowing for my crop to grow because they're so clustered and inundated around these plants. I had literally about 15 cucumbers out there and they're all gone. And I can tell you that I did not see any damage to the actual shaft of the plant, this main stem or vine, whatever you want to call it. I didn't see that going on, so I don't believe it was attacked by worms. It looks like really the main issue is stemming from that root. So I don't know. I saw online where it said we could treat this chemically, basically putting a true pesticide in the garden. Well, then I'll be consuming that pesticide, and I'm really, really opposed to that. And I know that they're saying that these things are harmless, but I'm telling you, my crops aren't growing. So where I'm at, I'm really bordering 10. I'm really bordering zone 10. So you have to imagine, you're really getting that Key West vibe. You know what I mean? Like, you're really getting that just blasting hot humidity, heat. Like, that's why I said when you walk out into my garden area, it feels like a blow dryer is got a humidifier on you, and you're just like getting blasted by that blow dryer and the humidity, and you're trying to breathe. As a matter of fact, I have asthma, so I just went. Some people told me today when I was at work that I looked a little pale. I had to get a shot today, so 2 shots actually, for some antihistamine. So listen, it's really bad. The mold here is really rough. Like, we just live in a rough climate. I do not know how the native Indians did it, but God bless them, because yeah. I mean, I'm native Floridian. My dad is a native Floridian, so we got a rough road to hoe. That's for sure. So welcome to Florida, y'all. So I'm keeping it real. Like, I love those people that are, out there on YouTube that are, I've seen some Florida gardeners recently that have popped up on my, like my feed or whatever. And they were just like, oh, it's so great. Grow in the shade. Everything's wonderful. And I'm just like, where do you people live? Because, like, if you're just trying to get views, good for you. Because I'm keeping it real on my channel. Like, I'm telling people, listen, this is not easy. Can you do it? Yes, we can all do this. But is it going to be a lot more difficult than you're going to get if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, even kind of moving up into that Georgia area? Georgia's still a little hot for me personally, and that clay ground, you got to work with that if you're in those clay areas. But really, like, a centralized good growing location to me personally are going to be the flats of like I said, like North Carolina. You're really going to get some nice cool temperatures. You're going to get that like nice combination where you can still get the warmth, and you might get a little snow, but it's not going to be as bad as anything that, as far as heat, you would experience here. That's the other thing. We don't really get anything cold here. Like, our coolest days, I mean, are really maybe December. At the end of December, we pray. I pray for some cool weather in December, because I've literally been here in Florida, we're wearing shorts and out there in the lake at Christmas, at the winter holiday. So in December, at the end of December. So there are plenty of years that I can tell you my mom would be skiing and in the water at Christmas. So we just don't get it cold enough here to really bite back a lot of these pests and bugs. And so that's what makes, I think, growing here quite a bit more difficult than you're gonna see in other locations. So y'all just keep that in mind. Like I said, I will tell you this in fairness, that the beds over here, which I know y'all can't see where I'm pointing, but over here, these little bit of smaller beds that I've kind of kept closer to the house, they have really done well, in all honesty, with Miracle-Gro. I did get a bag of Miracle-Gro one time, and I think I took pictures of it somewhere, but it's probably on my camera. But they came with termites. I had to treat the bag for termites. I was freaking out, and I had already put half the bag in there, because you just cut it open and you start dumping, and then I literally saw termites. I had to take like these up close pictures, and I showed my fiance. I was like, oh my god, there's termites, and I started like flipping out, because termites are a big deal here in Florida. We don't have wood homes. We don't have, well, you really shouldn't here. I mean, there are people that do have it, but you really shouldn't have wood-based homes, because you're really gonna have to pay attention and treat this stuff, because have treatment on those homes sometimes, because we get termite issues. A lot of insurance companies won't even insure a wooden home because of those reasons. And not only that, I mean, we get hurricanes. So really living, ideally in a block home is what you need to be thinking about. But that's neither here nor there, because I literally could probably talk for a really long time on all these subject areas. But the point is just keep your eyes open. These, according to UF, they are an invasive species. They are definitely decomposition bugs. They're going to be breaking stuff down, but I guess they are harmless. But I can tell you just from my own experience that they are chomping at the good roots. The good roots are being cut back short, and they're not having the opportunity to grow and produce. So I don't know, maybe I need to do some garlic treatment out there in the beds. Maybe that will deter them. I'm going to do some more research. Like I said, if you guys have any thoughts, ideas on how we can maybe deter these buggies, these little millipede thingies, and try to get them out, because I'm saying this is just an invasion. It's like the apocalypse of millipedes. So if you all have ever had this issue, please let me know what you've done to resolve it, because I don't want to continue the cycle of them breeding and reproducing. I'd like to try to limit this so that my beds have the opportunity for more growth and production, especially as we will be getting into our fall growing season. I really need these beds to ramp up and produce what I need them to produce, because as y'all know, here in Florida, I mean, I'm sure it's all across the country, but reality is that the inflation right now is the rate that groceries are going up, insane. It's insane. Like, we went to go, which we really don't eat out a lot, because eating out's like, ugh, to me. I don't like eating out much because it's just gross. I don't know who touched my food, and I'm a weirdo. So, but I will tell you that we did pick some food up or whatever. We went out, and listen, it was like $65, $75 after you tip these people or what, for 2 people. Like, come on. And a lot of restaurants, if you look in the news right now, a lot of restaurants are actually starting to close down, which I thought this was closed. Outback Steakhouse, I thought that place was already shut down, honestly, because, like, you know, I don't eat there anyway, but I thought they were already closed down. But there was a thing about Outback starting to close locations. I did see where Cracker Barrels are looking at closing some locations. You know, obviously your fast food places, they haven't started like closing down, but I've seen some mom and pops trying to, you know, really like opening up only certain days of the week, which blows my mind, because or they're like limited servers. It says right on the door, like limited servers for service, like basically your service is going to be slow. And so it just makes me wonder, like, what a mess we're in as a country, y'all. So that's why it's important that we are still trying to grow and being very vigilant in our gardens and being out there and touching this earth and making sure that we know what's going on there and doing our research. So, all right, everyone, I don't want to keep you guys for long, because like I said, I could probably rant all day. But until next time, love one another, be kind. I will see you guys in my next video.